Hello and good morning and happy Thursday. We're new streaming network WGSN-DB going solo network radio. Welcome to your Health Vibes with Elana. I'm your host, Elana, wellness empowerment coach. And today my journey is to raise your heart, body, and soul vibes to the next level so you can transform your life today. And today our topic is the power of a paradox. Yes, and with the one, the only, my amazing dad sister, Danette, come on down, queen. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I love your energy. I'm happy to be here.
I am so happy that you're here. And I know about you, but I would love the audience and the world to get to know you. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So, the fun stuff. I love to paddleboard. I'm a mom of two. I have a daughter and a son and a loving husband. We are in Colorado. Been there for about 10 years. I'm an East Coaster. I grew up in the corporate world, all focused really in the legal industry. I spent about 20 something years doing that in my corporate space. Then I launched my business, Florishion Consulting and Coaching. I got to launch it in 2023. And I have been on that entrepreneurial journey ever since. And I'm really excited to share some of the tools and techniques and tips and things that I've definitely learned, not only through that entrepreneurial journey, but you mentioned the dots. I'm a polka dot. And let me tell you, I have learned so much from that community that it's been such a blessing. And that's how I met you.
Yeah, I'm so glad that I got to meet you and beautiful to see you on stage. You got to speak at our annual celebration. It was just magical. And I had to have her on this podcast so you guys get to know and get to hear her story and experience. So has this always been something that you've wanted to do? Is this, you went from corporate to this. Can you maybe tell us a story about your past and how it led you to this, where you are now?
Yeah, absolutely. I did not, right? So I have continued to evolve and just find my way. It has been building blocks, but you heard a little bit about this at Celebration. And so I'll tell a little bit of a story about that whole experience. I was called to apply to speak at Celebration, which is our big annual conference with 400 plus of our, closest dot sisters. I got selected for the main stage. I was not expecting that. I was like, oh, okay, whoa, here we go. And it was the first time that I told my origin story in front of an audience. And that included sharing some personal early life details, such as growing up in a small town in North Carolina. I was someone that had to really break generational cycles, right? To be able to, I started in that space of survival. By the time I was 17, I was on my own, right? I had my own place, not because I had to, not because I wanted to, because I had to. And I had a daughter when I was pretty young as well. Like she was 3 days old at my high school graduation. So again, I grew up really quickly and I had a lot of responsibility early. So that meant I needed to make money.
Yeah, I hear you.
So that's how I got started with the law firm. I just started applying to different jobs. I just needed something more than the minimum wage could afford me as a single mom. So I got really lucky because I had customer service experience and call center experience, and I got hired to be an IT tech at a mid-sized law firm. And that really set me on my career path.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So that was the early stages. And then I spent 20 years in legal tech and legal training and development, learning and development. My last in-house role was the global director of learning and development at a big old law firm that I loved. I was there for 13 years. I built that team. I loved it to death. And right before I hit 40, I went back to get my MBA.
Yes.
And during that is when I actually was asked to paint my perfect day
Ooh, I
as
like.
part of a branding class, right? As it was
Mhm.
all about personal branding. And I realized that what I was doing that day didn't look like this day that I painted. And
Ooh.
that's when I realized that maybe I want to try this whole consulting thing. And that really sparked the whole thing. And then from there, I finished my MBA, resigned from that job, did some consulting with a firm, and then launched out on my own in 2023. So that's just a quick run through of that journey.
I love that, and I love journeys. So let's maybe go back a little bit and, talk about kind of each stage. So, growing up fast, is there any advice or some tools? I love to talk about all. You have so many great tools and so many things. So maybe we could start back then and then kind of work our way up. What would you tell some younger girls or things like your younger self going through all this to lead you to where you are and the tools that maybe you used or wanted to have?
I'm always about asking questions, staying curious, and leveraging your resources, right? And that could
Mhm.
just be some friends that you have around. So I definitely feel like in those early days, having good people surrounding me that I could lean on when I needed to, and being able to get pride and put it to the side and say, I need help or I'm struggling. Those are things that not only in the early days, but even today, right? We as
Right.
adults tend to shy away from at times. So I would definitely say that is some advice for those early days. And also just know that if you wake up every day, it's about progress, not perfection.
Let's maybe dive a little bit deeper. I've been hearing that so much lately. I think society and so much. Can we maybe talk a little bit about, people always want perfection, perfection, but maybe we can really talk about progress over perfection. I love that.
Yeah. Well, again, we're all getting up and doing the best we can
Mhm.
when with what we have, right? And when we're younger or as we're going through different transitions or whatever, that's all you can expect from someone. And if we stay curious and we become obsessed with self-discovery and self-awareness and
Mhm.
ongoing learning and exposing ourselves to different people and cultures and experiences, we'll continue to build the skills and to make that 1% everyday progress, right? And
Right.
when we don't,
Yeah.
and maybe we go back a few steps, then we give ourselves some grace
Right.
because we are human. And that's actually a big value of mine, is embracing being a human, because it is about progress over perfection, right?
Yeah. Maybe we can expand on like embracing that human. Like we're all human and
Mhm.
maybe go into a little bit more about that. If it's one of your, things that you love, let's maybe dig a little deeper about that because I feel like people don't really dig that deep and understand that they are human and it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to that. So maybe we can dig a little bit deeper in that.
Yeah, I do. I will say that growing up in the corporate world, first of all, I had fantastic teams I got to work with and people that were so supportive and helped me evolve into the professional that I am today, right? Because
Yeah.
I definitely, when I first walked into my first high-rise building and went to that interview, I was like, oh man, they're going to spot the riffraff and they're going to kick me out of here if I don't hurry up and get where I'm going. But at last, that didn't happen. I got the job. But there was a lot of imposter syndrome. And even today, right, that can pop up. And our mindset can be a really powerful driver forward or something that keeps us stuck. So when
Mhm.
I talk about embracing being a human, it's all of that, right? All of that beautiful, messy part of the human experience that makes this life so colorful,
Right.
complex, dynamic, all the things. So I really, you know, try to stay curious when I am talking to people that don't think the same, look the
Mhm.
same, maybe come from different places. Or, see if you see someone struggling or maybe they're having a bad day, just remember there's other things going on,
Mhm.
right? That we don't
Mhm.
know about. So being
Right.
able to embrace being human, for me, is a way to be able to make sure that I am focused on controlling the controllables,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
then giving grace when we need grace to be able to just move forward.
Right. 100%. Because I think we're always trying to control, or, society says it has to be a certain way, and then we don't give us that grace. Can you maybe tell experience in your corporate world that made you really change, that you really wanted to make a difference, or, an experience that you could help someone else that they could relate to?
I mean, that started from the beginning with the IT help desk situation, right? So I was the help desk person. Every time somebody called, maybe they were melting down because they had a client deliverable and they couldn't figure out how to put a number in the footer, whatever. Being able to help someone just feel more confident in their day to day. Like I realized really quickly, I loved it. And I loved the learning and the training part of what I was doing. And that led me into tech training, which again led me into the other type of training, right? The human skills, the
Yes.
soft skills, they're really the hard skills, right? Communication, conflict management, relationship intelligence, emotional intelligence. When I started doing that type of workshops and whatnot, and oh man, I was like, because at first I was like, I'm an IT trainer, I don't do that. And then when I started doing it, I was like, okay, wait a minute, maybe this is more fun than Excel.
Yeah.
I think that's when I really realized how much I enjoyed and really wanted to do this type of work forever and ever, right? And it continued to get more and more focused for me about the type of concepts that I wanted to talk about. So, for example, the concept of the power of a paradox, yes, and that's a concept and a workshop. So I actually am going to be speaking of a few of the polka dot chapters. And I more than likely will be offering a full-on workshop. Well, I want to make sure they get the first cut of it because I did design it for my polka dot sisters. So they'll get the live version. Then I'll probably offer it sometime in the second quarter as a full-on workshop that people can come to. But the concept is the fact that we are often faced with things that feel like they're conflicting, right? We might have two conflicting ideas.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, wait a minute, right? There's the paradox. That's the tension. And often we default. We can default to our comfort zone or just, whatever seems easiest fall into. But sometimes we just need to hold the line with those two opposing ideas and let the tension exist. And that allows us to become more curious. That allows us to be more innovative, right?
Yes.
When we have option A and option B, but they seem so conflicting, and I'll talk about the power of a pause.
Yes.
When we give ourselves time, when we pause, when we let that tension stay there, often it reveals option C.
Ooh, boom. I got the chills when you said that. Can you say that again one more time?
Absolutely. So to me, the concept of a paradox is you've got, this is one example, option A, option B. You're like, I just don't know. I'm not sure that either one of these is the right answer. So I'm going to pause, even though I feel pressure to make a decision right now. And what I have found is often we end up with option C.
Oh, I love that.
And that to me is the power of a paradox, right? The yes and two seemingly opposing truths can exist in the same space. And I feel like that's a message we need a lot right now. And I won't go too deep into that.
But I mean, we can just like a little bit, like we could not in like that level of, but to kind of dig deeper of that, because that is so true. Like so many times we don't want to connect because this doesn't agree and that doesn't agree. And then I love that you say we need that pause, because then we think, oh my God, what's my answer? And then and then we spiral. Is there any tools that you could tell someone, like, what do you do in that pause? Like, what could they do and how can that help them come to see?
Yeah. Well, I'm always a fan of a good pros and cons list, one, but also curiosity. That's the biggest tool, right? Okay. Yeah. You've looked at option A, you've looked at option B, you know exactly what you're dealing with there. And then you start asking some questions. So curiosity is the biggest tool that I could say, whether it's informational interview, just giving yourself time and space to be able to figure out what's next, whatever that means. And I'll give you an example of when that happened. I was pretty burnt out last year. Being an entrepreneur, it's not It's not the easy button.
It's not?
And, I was feeling pretty burned out. So I started thinking, you know what, maybe it's just time. I'm going to go back to the corporate world. I'm going to get a W-2. I'm going to get a salary and benefits and a project portfolio. And that's that. That's what I need to do. But in my heart of hearts, I knew that wasn't necessarily it, right?
Yeah.
And so I had option A, corporate world, keep going and keep trudging forward, right?
Right.
So I just hit the pause button. I stopped stressing over it. I stopped trying to figure out the best course and just went in, started taking really good care of myself, my mindset, paying attention to what was going on. And option C presented itself.
That's so beautiful to take care of yourself, because we are caretakers, and also being a mother and so much that you want to do for everybody else. What can you tell someone who really, they need to pause and stop and really take care of themselves and know that what are some tools or things that people could do to take care of themselves when they're givers and showing up for everybody else, to know that it is okay?
Yeah, absolutely. So I call it locking in.
I love it.
Sometimes we just need to lock in. It gets really easy when we are people that, just for anybody, right? Whether you've got kids or animals or just parents, whatever it is, right? Your work, we tend to put all these other things before ourselves, right? And we make up plenty of excuses of why we're too busy to go to the gym or to meditate or to just breathe.
Totally.
So, for me, that's just being aware of that and beginning to, what I like to do is I'll really look at my schedule, because it's a time management thing as well, right? We have to create time for ourselves. So 100%. If you're a time blocker, time block. Yeah. That means you time block that you're going to get up and you're going to meditate for 15 minutes in the morning. That means you can put alerts on your phone to get up and walk around and get away from the computer for a minute. It means that you make sure that you are doing whatever it is, the walk outside, brain breaks, meditation, whatever your tools are.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Make time to use them. It's got to be intentional. So I think that's, for me, I know for me, that's what has been so helpful, because we can lose focus on those things.
100%. And I love that you say it's intentional. We could say oh, we did this, but if you don't do it with intention, then I feel sometimes it kind of gets lost too, because then it becomes more just like your ordinary thing and not something that you're doing for yourself. So with all this, I would love to talk and dive a little bit deeper about Florishion. Can you I would love, and how they can work with you and what programs you have going on and how you birthed that a little bit. We kind of talked about a little bit earlier, but I would love the birth story of how all this happened.
Absolutely. So initially when I came out the gate, and still today, this is part of the option C that I was speaking about. I was solely focused on more so the consulting space and working with my legal firms and departments to do team building workshops, leadership development, and people manager coaching. And I still do all of that, but I have partnered up with another consulting firm called Leadwise Group. And I have an amazing partner there, and she is an attorney, and she does the same kind of work. And now we're working together to do that for the corporate space. And so that scratches that itch, right? That my workshop, my corporate legal eagles. So with Florishion, what I decided is that will be focused on coaching women.
Ooh.
And it is all about empowerment, because all too often we feel like we're too much, we're not enough. Sometimes we feel like we're both of those at the same time.
Yeah, 100%.
After the hundreds of women that I have talked to, if not more, right, throughout the years, we tend to most of us experience these same things. Imposter syndrome, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes we got that overthinking situation and inner critic going on.
Right.
So I have a 3-step reframing technique I like to share to help quiet the inner critic. So that's one way that I work with my clients, is, again, providing science-backed tools, techniques, approaches, and coaching to help quiet the inner critic. to help really focus in on your power, your presence, and your purpose. So
Ooh.
that's what Empower by Florishion is. That is my new love when it comes down to my company, Florishion, is focused on working with women leaders, whether you're an entrepreneur or maybe you're moving up in the ranks in the corporate world, or maybe you're already there and you just need a guide on the side to help talk through whatever you're going through day in, day out. So I have 3 different offerings that I'm currently providing as part of this Empower by Florishion collection.
Please tell us about that.
The first one is an insight session, and that one is really focused on self-discovery. So you have an assessment. It's a strengths-based assessment where we talk about what are your motives. So how do you show up when things are going well? How do you show up when things are hitting the fan? Right?
Yeah.
Whatever that means. And then what are your strengths and what are your overdone strengths? And we begin to talk about and really dig into how does that show up for you. So that can be an individual session with a follow-up. And it's also part of my 90-day coaching program.
Ooh, that's
But a lot of times, sometimes people just want to give it a shot. They'll do the insight session first, and then they'll be like, oh, well, wait, how do we keep this going? Right. And that's when they move into the coaching container.
Because you're gonna want to keep it going with her.
Thank you. Or somebody really, as long as the conversation continues on. So you're integrating the concepts and being able to validate. Yep. That resonates. The awareness is pretty powerful, right? And that's where you can really own your power and your presence, no matter what room you're in.
Yes.
When we know these things about ourselves and we're able to use these insights and how we show up, it's a pretty powerful thing.
It really is. Is there, after you tell your third thing, would you maybe tell some of your like little nuggets, maybe a few little hidden gems that you have that you would like to share, to leave us with something? I would love that. I love what you have to say. I love your information. I just would love for more people to hear more things.
Absolutely. So the other 2 is there's something called Why Discovery. So for anybody that's heard of Simon Sinek, I got really excited and I feel kind of lucky. That's a good word for it. But, I feel like it was definitely the universe like, yep, this is it. So I'm one of probably around 50 people at this point in the whole world that have been certified through the Optimism Company using Simon Sinek's Why Discovery. And it's powerful. I went through it myself. Oh. And that's where purpose comes in, right? So the power, the presence, the purpose. And when we figure out truly our why, which is why we get out of bed in the morning, right? And then we talk about your hows, which are your values. And that's how you do the things you do. Because we know what you do. Generally, we can see what you do. These other things are a bit deeper. Yeah. And when we're able to name them and give them and provide clarity, all of a sudden we have a new filter for decision making. We're going to say yes to the things that are aligned and no to the things that aren't, right? Right. Because we have these insights. So both of those are standalone options, but they're all included in my 90-day coaching program. And that's one-on-one. I initially thought I was going to do group coaching, but you know what? I love the ability for the one-on-one coaching that can really elevate how someone shows up in such a rapid manner. That confidence boost that I'm seeing with my clients almost immediately, the light bulb moments. I think for now, I really want to keep things in a one-on-one. So it's kind of I don't have, right? There's only so many hours in a month or whatever. So I like the fact that this is much more intimate and focused on the person.
I really like that too. You can really dig deep and truly find what is going on and really get into that soul. What I really love is how authentic and how you do show up with purpose and alignment. And it's not just about like, look at me, you truly care and really empower. And that's what I love. The empower that you have shines so brightly, especially when you talk, you light up because this is your lane. This is your jam. And I love having you on here today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I'm curious, because I heard a little whisper about something cool you've got going on with our girl Leslie Arboleta. So tell me more about that.
Yeah, so Leslie and I, another dot sister, yay Leslie, we were going to be doing a retreat called Desert Bloom for women ages 20 to 100 or 105, however old you want to be, and being the intergenerational ambassador, gapping that generation and building that trust with, you can be a teacher and a student, and we can be the voices of our ancestors that couldn't. And it's really defining, we try to pin ages against each other. What would a 20-year-old, what would a 9-year-old? They have nothing. But if we really show up for each other, we're really there for the same reason and purpose. So we're really excited about it. It's going to be in Joshua Tree, April 2nd through 5th. And we're just really happy to put something out there like that. And especially with Leslie, she's an incredible woman. So feel really honored to do that.
No, you're both amazing. So anybody, and I was looking at the dates and I'm like, I'm gonna actually be in California near that time, but I'm gonna be doing another workshop. So I'm gonna have to miss it, but I'm definitely looking forward to hearing all about it. And I'm sure you'll have some more opportunities to engage, but I wanted to hear more about it because that's a dynamic duo right there. So
well, thank you.
Very cool.
I really appreciate the love and support. And that's what I really love about the dot world and dot sisters is the way that we can show up. And, I'm just so blessed that our paths crossed to have such a strong, amazing woman in my life. And it goes to forward. We mirror each other. We can show up for each other. And it really is a different community than I've ever experienced. I don't know for you, how you feel too, but I've never met women who have shown up. The first, when you have a connect, the first thing they say is, how can I show up for you? And you're like, are you talking to me? Like me,
How can I support you? Right. It's not like, so what do you do? It's like, who are you? Where'd you grow up? It's made me feel more empowered, more aligned, and more open to all the things. I've learned so much. There's so many things when I talk about learning, it's because what you just mentioned, the age ranges, right? Mm-hmm. We do have women from all different backgrounds, from the age ranges, like you said, it's like, I think 18 is the youngest dot we have. And then, right, until whatever. And that has been so cool because seeing us all come together in different phases of life and be able to really resonate and learn and be curious and support and just hold space. Sometimes it's just holding space. They don't say anything. They just let you
run your mouth.
Let you do you. Yes.
Yeah. It definitely is. Well, we're almost going to come to close. Do you have any one special quote, any other things that you would love to let anybody know or let us know? I love, as I said, I just want as much as we can know about you.
Yeah. So the power of the pause, I spoke a little bit about that. And when I talk about reframing techniques, when we're spiraling and that inner critic gets loud, the power of the pause is really important. I always say the 6-second pause is an actual thing. So if you feel like you're in a tense situation or you're starting to get that physical response to tension and stress or whatever, that 6-second pause is actually proven to be enough time, right? Where you just kind of hit the pause button. You don't send the email. You don't pick up the phone. You don't say the thing. You give yourself a minute, hit that pause button and take a deep breath. Take another deep breath. You physically will start to feel all those right. And start evening out. Then you can make the next best rational response to whatever you're doing. I have found that to be really helpful because my face, let me tell you, it will contort. So I have to make sure my mouth.
You should do a video or a little meme on like a 6-second pause. That would be so good. Like to do.
I'll put it on my list. I definitely.
think that would be good. I think like a lot of people would relate to that. I think it would be so funny. Like, go back to the video when you're feeling like this.
6-second pause, people.
Yeah.
And this actually, when I was doing a workshop, I had another coach in the room, Jen B, if anybody knows Jen B. And she made a really, really great addition to that, right? Which is when the inner critic gets upset and when we are having a tough time with something or facing a challenge and we're feeling all of that, not only is the 6-second pause good, but being able to ask yourself, will this matter in 6 minutes, in 6 days, in 6 weeks, in 6 months, in 6 years, right? And all of a sudden, you have a better grip on, is this worth getting all ramped up over, or should I just let this one go, right? And again, that's where the intention comes in, because we have so many things coming our way day in, day out that could put us what I call below the line. Brene Brown, by the way,
Yeah,
I'll drop this one. If you have not read her new book, Strong Ground is amazing. Brene Brown's new book. And she talks about this concept of being above the line and below the line. And below the line, or the line itself, is actually fear.
Ooh. Wow.
So if you think about, am I above the line or below the line? That's, if you're below the line, if you can go, yeah, I'm feeling a little defensive, I'm feeling a little afraid, I'm feeling a little whatever, that's your indication that you need that 6-second pause.
Ooh, that's such a powerful tool, and some things like people could just put in their pocket and take with them. And I think so many times we don't know these little tools or nuggets to share. And that is such a beautiful thing. You're so right. As we just take that pause, show it for ourselves. We're not going to send that email, because I know I get upset and then I'm like, and
backspace, delete.
There's like a new thing, like you can take it away. Like they didn't see it yet, you know. But I love that you say it, because it's something so simple. Like I think people overthink and like, oh my gosh, if I don't do this, but that's such a great tool to show up for yourself. And then you can really realize where you're at. And I love, and I'm visual too. That was so helpful. Like to think like, where am I, below the line or above it? And that's really a great thing. Thank you. That's a beautiful tool. I really, really love that. Well, I've just totally enjoyed, this has been such a great podcast. You have such good nuggets and information. You'll definitely have to be back on. But is there any one last statement you want to let the world to know?
Well, I will say that my launch pricing is ending in just a few days. So I've had launch pricing for this, for the coaching opportunities, December and Jan. However, if you are watching this and you do book a free clarity call, you can use the link that Florishion.com/empower. Yep, that one right there. So if you use that link, you can book a free clarity call. If you do that before February 16th and mention this podcast, I will honor my launch pricing. Going forward.
Yes. Woo!
I love that. Oh, I love that.
So everybody reach out to her. She's amazing. And I'm so honored to know you. Thank you so much. I feel so blessed to have you on today. I'm Elana, EF11CA@gmail.com. My website is yourhealthvibes.com. Thank you for being here. You can join me Thursdays bi-weekly at 12 p.m. Eastern and 9 a.m. Pacific to begin raising your vibration, heart, body, mind, and soul. Thank you for being here. I'm your host, Elana. And we are with your new streaming network, WG, as I can really talk, blah, 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 blah. WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. Thank you, and we'll see you again. Bye for now.